Okay, we're going to dive right into this one. This is a 1969 novella by Fritz Leiber. It actually won the Hugo Award for Best Novella um, during that time period. And this story starts on Windrush, right? And Spar dreams of a giant creaking ship full of monsters such as vampires, werewolves, and witches. Pretty typical Leiber fare, but exceptionally well done. He's a great stylist, and he is with a witch's familiar cat at the start as well, or maybe it's just a stray cat. Who knows? It speaks in its own way. The language is rather disorienting, and Spar is likewise because he is terribly hungover. We are told of witch hunts in the low population of hold 3 of the ship, which is where this takes place. There's no gravity, seems to be the norm, but in other ways, it seems like it's a wooden vessel from the age of sail, except it's really a rather kind of a mega structure in size, a very big ship. Plus, there is talk of your typical horror creatures running amok, though it's chalked up to superstition, of course. Much of the story is set in a bar, and it seems like everyone wants drinks. Right? The women seem pretty scantily clad, just wearing bras and culottes, and this is fine, I guess. It's pretty normal. And they're also described as plump, which is also normal and fine. That's cool. The ruler of the area is called Crown. He's a coroner and seems handy with his toes. And he's more of a gangster. Everyone seems scared of him. There is a certain calendar for the ship that really makes interesting world building, and it's cool how much it feels familiar with a ship's setting and a gothic tavern setting, but it's science fiction. And it gets into robotics and what they mean by witchcraft and even the commonality of dreams. And this seems a future where something has gone wrong or infantry has taken its toll. I wouldn't be surprised if this inspired Gene Wolfe's book of the Long Sun and maybe New Sun some. It definitely reminded me of them. And he even calls the British crew the gods of the ship and mentions underworld rivers. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just pulling from common sources. I love Leiber and Wolfe, so that might just be the case. Spar is put off as a stupid man with silly fancies, but he has desires and his own cunning. He seems to have poor vision and no teeth, but he doesn't want to be that way forever, right? And that's where the character of Doc comes in to help him, move up, I guess, in society. We get cats versus dogs, hints of the style of, Earth by curses, hints of sex, of the world beyond, the one inside. And it's interestingly told by a man who can't see well and is confused by superstition. So I also learned the German word Schweinehund and the Yiddish Schlemiel or whatever. This may have something to do with blood-drinking Nazis as well in the story. Like, what the heck? It kind of blew my mind. But one nice aside is one character seems to be black, and he's not some throwaway, though you could argue he's a paragon and gets a little character development. But Spar is really actually the only one that gets character development here in this story, too. It is rather short. It is a great story, I think, and with lots hidden and on the periphery. It gets really wild the last few pages, which is very typical of Leiber. You don't exactly know where he's going to go, and he's always got that, panache to, really pull off quite a stunt at the end. He does that well here, and it's nice and short, and I think that works really well. So pay attention to the usage of survival over colony, and it gives great context and themes to think about. But in particular, it kind of feels like Gibson's Gernsback continuum about revelation of, coming out of a dark age of sorts and things not being how you thought they might be. So anyways, great story. I can see why I won the Hugo. I'll catch you next time.